If you wait until the last minute, it'll only take a minute to do. The amount of times I heard this from my partners in high school at like 11 o'clock at night as they were starting the project is like more than I can count. But strangely, it's just true. If you've ever been in a situation where you need to get something done in like an hour or 5 minutes, then you will get it done. It might not be great, but you will get it done. Some of you might know this as Parkinson's Law, which basically says that the amount of time that you give something to do is how long it will take to do. And I always knew about this in the back of my mind, but I only kind of recently rediscovered it and actually started applying it to my life. So let me tell you about what I did. So as some of you might know, I like to draw, and I also like to draw things for my friends' birthdays because it's just a fun thing. It's like a nice gift, and they appreciate it. But it takes me so long. When I do like a birthday drawing, it actually takes me like 3-4 hours to draw something. And it's not because I'm making like a masterpiece. I just keep erasing it and then redoing it and then erasing it. And I'm like, oh, I just gotta get this right. And then I erase it and then maybe I'll redo a couple things and it's just like a huge time sink. And that's how it's always been. So recently, after rediscovering Parkinson's Law, I decided to take some action on this. So my friend has a birthday on this coming Saturday as of recording, and I decided that I would make a change. I'm not going to give myself all this time to work on this drawing. I'm going to give myself 90 minutes. I set a 90-minute timer, and I said to myself, whatever I get done by the end of this 90 minutes on this drawing is what I'm giving to him. So there was kind of like a double addition there. First of all, you got Parkinson's Law. I set a time limit for myself, so only 90 minutes. But then I also had the guilt of giving him a bad gift. So I'm like, oh, bro, if I mess this up and this is bad, I have to hand this to him. Oh my god, I can't let this be bad. I have to actually I have to get to work here. The drawing was of Master Chief, by the way. I'll put a picture up on screen. Pretty cool picture. And I will not lie, this got me pretty stressed. I was actually worried that I might have a bad drawing or I wouldn't get it done in time. But I feel like this is the type of the good stress. I'm not sure if everybody knows about this. I'll put it on the screen or something. But there's two types of stress. There's distress and then eustress. And eustress is the good one for you. That's if you ever before a race or something, if you've ever done cross country or track. I felt like that. I was oh, I gotta get this done. It's like the jitters kind of. So, in the end, I finished the drawing, and I'll be honest, it wasn't that bad. It definitely wasn't as good as it would have been if I took 5-6 hours to do it, but it was still pretty good. I'd say I got 80% of what I would have gotten normally, but it only took me 90 minutes, way less time, but I still got the majority of it done. And then it was also great because I just had so much more extra time. If I'm shortening it from 5 hours drawing to 90 minutes, wow, I have so much more time. I can just do what I want. I think I cooked stir fry that night just because it was fun. I'm okay, I got extra time. I can do what I want. It was all the stress of that one drawing was just compressed into that 90 minutes. So once it was up, it was oh, I'm free. It's like after you're taking a test at school. It's oh, that was it. That was the test. Now I don't have to think. Now I can just chill. And since this worked so well for me, I decided to try and apply it to something that's even bigger than a friend's birthday drawing. So I have this coding project that I'm working on, and I have some deadlines. I guess I kind of set them myself. It's kind of like an independent project, but for someone else. So I have a coding project that I'm working on. So with this coding project, I told the person who's overseeing my work basically oh yeah, this project I've been working on for forever, yeah, I'll have it done. I'll have it done by Saturday. This was on Monday, which was a couple days ago. I told them, yeah, I'll have it all done by Saturday. The whole thing, yeah. It'll do this, and it'll do this, and it'll do this, and it'll be exactly how you want it to. Yeah, Saturday morning. I'll see you then. Let's book a meeting, actually. I booked a meeting with him Saturday morning. Hasn't even come yet, but yeah, booked a meeting. And this was Monday, and I had nothing done. I had 0 progress done on the project. But at this point, it's okay, well, I just booked a meeting with this guy, and he's gonna be really mad or just disappointed if I don't have this done by Saturday. So I have 2 options. I can either just fail and just face the embarrassment of not having anything. It's that would suck. Or I could just get it done. So, there's 2 options. You either get it done or you fail. What other choice do I have? And to make things even worse, I only gave myself the mornings to work on it. So I would give myself 3 or 4 hours in the morning to work on this project, and then I would just force myself to not work on it for the rest of the day. And this is like the ultimate Parkinson's law, because I have so little time to work on this project that I haven't started yet. Well, I hadn't started when I made the meeting. So I only had to focus on like the critically, like the most 100% important things to make sure I get, like, the finished product out. In the beginning, I was actually so stressed about getting it done. I did not think that I would get it done. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to face this guy, and I won't have this project done, and oh my god, this is just not gonna be good. But then again, I had two options. I had the rest of the days, so I could either give up and, like, fail, or I could just keep at it, keep going, and, like, force myself to lock in, basically. So with so little time, I was basically forcing myself to lock in on this project and, like, genuinely hyper focus on it in the mornings. And I think it worked a little too well, actually, because by the time I got to, like, the third or fourth day, like, there was 5 days, like, it was a week, like a weekday, or you know what I'm saying. I had 5 days to work on it. By the time I got to the fourth day, I realized, like, oh, I'm, like, done already. I basically finished the project, and now I'm looking for more to do on top of it. So I'm, like, adding, like, the cherry on top of this, like the icing on the cake already. I already did everything I said I would do, and now I'm just, like, adding the icing to make it even greater. So yeah, I'd say it worked pretty well. It worked a little too well, actually. It seems so counterintuitive to just assign less time to work on something, but it genuinely just works so well. I don't know why. It's so strange. Here's a little safety tip that I almost like had to look out for when I first started, is you have to be strict with your timers. So like me, when I said in the morning I only work on it for 4 hours, you have to be strict about that, because the second that I say, like, oh, I'll just work on it a little bit more in the afternoon, that's like I lose all that focus, like I lose all that eustress, like, not distress, eustress. I lose all that eustress, and it's like, oh, I have more time, like, oh, I can work on it later. It's so you have to be very strict. Me, I set 25-minute timers. I work in 25-minute blocks. When that timer goes up, I literally stand up. Like, I force myself to stand up, and it's like, okay, now I'm standing. Like, I'm, like, still coding, so I'm typing like this on my keyboard. It's like, okay, I have to go take a break, and I, go outside, take a walk. But I force myself to stand up, so you have to be very strict. Because the second you get, like, lazy, and you're like, oh, I'll just work on it a bit longer, you lose all that eustress, and that's, I don't know, you lose the magic. Like, I know my friends, if my friends weren't working on a project at 11:30 p.m. with it being due at, like, midnight, then they would not be working that hard. They would not be working that hard at, 10:30 a.m. and it's due at midnight. They're like, oh, I got more time, I'll work on it later or something, or I'll, whatever. It only works when it's 11:30 at night and it's due in 30 minutes, and you realize, this is sort of like, this is like 30% of my grade and I need to get this done. That's when it works. So you gotta, like, simulate that on your own. And also, don't fall into the trap that I almost did. The trap was this. It's like, oh, I can shorten my work time and get more work done. So now with this extra time I have, I'll just do more work, and then I'll have more done. Wouldn't that be so great? And I mean, that is great if you have, like, infinite motivation, but not everyone does, and I certainly don't. So I was doing my hard work in the morning, and then I would be done with it, and I'd be trying to do more work. I'd be like, oh, I'll just assign less time and stress myself out even more. But that's not how it works, because you can only take so much eustress at once. Like, eustress is good stress, but you also can't just keep stressing yourself out. Like, you need rest time. The good thing about Parkinson's law is that since you have extra time, you have time to relax. You can do what you want to do. It's a weird concept, especially for me, having time that do stuff that you actually want to do, and you don't feel like, oh my god, I have to be productive right now. It's like, no, I was productive for 4 hours this morning, and I was, like, losing my mind and pulling my hair out, but then I got everything done, and now I can relax. I can do what I want to do. And yeah, it's an easy trap to fall into, to just say, oh, I'll do more work and I'll get more done, and I'll be happy later, I'll do all my fun stuff later. It's very easy to do that. Parkinson's law will only really work if you give yourself the rest time, because if you don't give yourself the rest time, then you just have no motivation at all. Like, if I just, like, kept, pushing myself, I wouldn't even care about the product anymore. I'd just be like, bro, I do not care. I don't care that I'm gonna face this guy and I have nothing. I don't care. I'm just so miserable. So, yeah. You have to give yourself rest time. You can't just keep working, or else you'll just get depressed. Depression is, like, the ultimate killer of productivity, because you literally just don't care. When you get to that point, you just don't care. You will not do anything. Trust me. Trust me. So in summary, if you want to get more done, you have to assign less time. It sounds very counterproductive, but please just try it. Just set a timer, be strict about it. Say, I will get this done in an hour or half an hour. And yeah, seems like the less time you give yourself, the more you stress you have, which is, the good stress, but the faster you get it done. And it's just, I don't know, I think that's really cool. I'm having a lot of fun playing around with this, with different stuff. So yeah, in conclusion, thank you Master Chief, and thank you friend for having a birthday. You have no idea how much I appreciate you having a birthday. Alright, that's all I've got for now. Thank you for watching, and let's keep making progress. Bye!